I've got such like a weird cheesy grin on my face. It must be like so cringy that it's a bit of a proud dad moment having so many people playing on something that you've made. So I'm recording this the day that my track releases because again I'm trying to get ahead on videos. I just thought it would be nice to try and get a bunch of people in a server and actually do a race on it to see how it races, to see if there are multiple viable lines. Like I tried my very best throughout the track building process to make lines that work similar to others with extra rough on the insides, like bigger outsides, etc. I know there are a few corners, however, like this one here. You see this middle rut is pretty big in comparison to the rest, so it might not go like that in every corner, but I tried my best. You know, I'm very happy with it. The feedback that I've received on today, the day of the track being released, is absolutely insane. You're probably not going to see this video until 4 or 5 days after the fact. But what I want to do here is going to spin some laps in practice. I'm going to get a race going. It's this server set to a 5-lap race, and I want to see how it goes. And again, thank you everyone so much for the love and support. It really is not inspiring. I think motivating is the right word to just go ahead and build another one straight away. If you've been putting off buying that new MX gear, or you're just looking for some new daily MX related clothing, then head on over to fxrracing.com. Code MXPR_Lins15 at checkout will give you 15% off all motocross and lifestyle products. This code is applicable to the European, Swedish and Norwegian websites, and not Canada or the USA. And whilst I've got your attention, you may as well subscribe to the channel. It's just one click of a button and it puts a big old smile on my face. Hope you enjoy the rest of the video. I feel like I should probably try and actually get a lap time, considering it's my own track. We've currently got a 144 being the best in here, and I know that I've ran a 143 in testing. Now, oddly enough, it seems to be a little bit like framey, a little bit skippy. My end, I've still got my settings. See, I've still got my settings maxed out like I do usually for the streams. I think the only issue at the moment might be either the server, because we've got 40 people in here and the bike servers get a bit strange, or the track just might not be optimised enough. I have asked the question in chat in here, asking how people's FPS is, and everyone's saying that it's fine. So it could just be mine. My PC could just be having a bad day. So let's see if I can actually get a lap time in. Rather than wadding myself or getting accidentally taken out by people. He did apologise, by the way. Just went back to the pits and had a look. Also, looking at the erode so far, this server's been up about 19 minutes. The erode is set to 0.3, and it doesn't really seem to be digging down at all. You know, it's still staying pretty damn flat. So again, just kind of gathering all that information and just bearing it in mind for next time I build a track that I'll need to work on the terrain a little bit. But so far so good. Literally nothing but nice words. I feel like some of that's obviously because I'm me and people want to be nice. But I feel like by now there probably would have been 1 or 2 people that I just like blatantly honest, and I know from the track building Discord there's a few things where I can improve on for the next one. But yeah, I'm very happy man. I really am. See a few people saying that they're really enjoying these sand sections as well, and I like them. I feel like they're quite flowy, quite smooth. We're getting a little bit of rough at the bottom of there. Maybe people are just kind of getting halfway around the track and then starting another lap. I want to see what this lap time is going to be when I actually get across the line. We're at a 1:30 right now. Oh, this should hopefully beat a 1:44. You'd think that I'd have the best lap time in a lobby on a track that I created, wouldn't you? Oh, it's going to get close. And yeah, yeet. 140. There we go. Lovely stuff. not like it's a massive, not a massive brag or anything, considering I've literally been the one testing the track all the time. But there you go. We got to the spot I wanted to be in. Let's get into a race. How's this man not been kicked back to the pits? He's so far back. Oh my god. Okay, rolling start. But okay, major downside, major flaw that may have been an oversight when creating this track. Trying to get 40 people around this extremely tight first corner is not ideal. Just throwing that out there. Everything else so far seems to be absolutely fine. The road seems to be fine. Frame's still a little bit choppy. You know, I think I've got quite a lot of trees dotted around the outskirts, which probably doesn't help, and a hell of a lot of vehicles in the pits. So I think for the next track I'll look into ways of optimise. But I'm happy, man, honestly. Like, I've been smiling the entire time seeing this many people enjoying something that I spent 90 hours on in total. Right, race time. Revs are up. Gates are down. Oh, that was not a good jump by me. Please be nice, 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 please be nice. Yes, I survived this time. I got absolutely yeeted off the start last time. Oh, what I don't want is the guys with the second and third fastest lap time in the quote-unquote qualifying being in front of me off the gate. Sorry, we got a good jump here. This should be interesting. It's going to be nice, like, riding against people that are... oh, a good speed! Holy front end. It's alright. You'd think I'd know all the ins and outs of my own track by now, wouldn't you? But probably not the case. It wouldn't surprise me if we end up getting into some lappers during this whole thing. Oh, Junior is just absolutely yeeted. Oh my. And I'm interested to see, because I've not had a chance to test it yet with lots of people, is how super deep your road gets. I could have loaded the track up in testing and put it on like 5 times the road and rode round, but it's not really a good representation of a long race with like 30-40 people with a lower road. You know, it just builds up very, very differently. So this will be a good test as well to see how it goes, and worst case scenarios I can always ask around in the Dirtworks Discord to see like what I should really be doing in terms of soil, because I did wing it. I just slapped on a bunch of different layers of soft soil. For those who are unaware, soft soil is the grippiest soil in the game at the moment. It's what the majority of the MXGP and aerial tracks are rode on, so I think a lot of people kind of default to using that. Right, let's have a look in the old sand section, see what we come out like. I mean, Aiden went inside there, I went middle, and I feel like we came out pretty equal distance apart. Let's try again. He's going inside. I'm going to try middle again. And I think he gains a little bit in the corner because it's a shorter line, but I can scrub the jump coming out of it a bit harder. Let's try again. He's going inside. Let me go outside and try tripling. Oh, this is working out far better than I ever expected. I didn't expect there to be like this much variation in terms of the lines. I'm so happy, man. I really, really am. One thing that I need to see is, obviously, you know, on some tracks where you cross the finish line at the end of a lap and it still says lap 1, it essentially makes it a longer one. I don't know if I tested for that. I can't get around this corner. What's wrong with me? Let's go inside. Can we seat bounce? Still go over this? Yeah, I still need to test for that. So the start-finish line, I've just realised I've got my map off for an L gamer. I turned it off to take a screenshot and I've not turned it back on. You know what? It's too late now. Doesn't matter. Oh my god, the grass is coming through underneath that bit. Okay, note to self. Make sure the grass doesn't come through with the road. The finish line is the absolutely massive booter over to my right-hand side in the middle. Well, that'd just be a nice finish line. No, it's in the middle of a super fast straight with a little split section before it. So hopefully you get some photo finishes, toss her sideways up and over the finish line as well. This is a really good battle so far, me Aiden and Junior. Oh no bike magnet. Yes. Oh, there's a checkpoint just on the takeoff for that jump there as well, so if I missed that I would have had some cuts. And yeah, it started lap 2, so brilliant. It's all working as I wanted it to. Very, very happy, man. I'm just looking across the track, just watching everybody riding around. It's like, damn, I created this. Such a proud dad. The kids that I'm never going to have, these are my children now. My subscribers are my children. They get to enjoy my my curation that I've created for them. That middle line there seems to be like the OP one. And then there's a lot of people going inside here. I think Road's a really good way of telling what lines people were kind of going to, and since I'm recording this on the day of release as well, there's probably a lot of people that aren't too sure of the fastest way around the track anyway, so they might just be filtering into the same lines. So we'll leave that as a work in progress and see. I mean, in that first lap, kind of battling with Aiden, I was taking slightly different lines to the main one, so I think there are more viable. I think a lot of people are just going to follow in. Now, to be fair, this inside is a little bit on the OP side of things. I like that you have to slow down there through the shadows and the rough because it's a little bit difficult to see. Double this inside here is probably a little bit overpowered, although there's a lot of lines in the middle too. And I did say I never tested this track once on a 125, by the way, just throwing that out there. But I have seen 1 or 2 people, both in this server that I'm in right now, as well as the comments for the YouTube video that got released on the day of this track being dropped, saying that apparently it's a really good 125 track. I imagine that you'd have to hit a lot of outsides, and a few lanes over to the right there's like a tabletop with an extended single on the downside. That jump, if you don't downside the tabletop before that, even on a 450, sometimes can be hard to get. So I imagine that's probably the hardest jump on this track on a 125. Let's try this outside. It's good, actually. I'm looking at the ruts now, seeing lots of different line choices. This jump here is the stretch, so even on a 450, see, I just had to stretch it out a little bit because I overjumped the tabletop before it slightly. Go nice inside. One thing that I was very surprised with, actually, in building this, first of all, is the track markers, the little yellow markers you see dotted around everywhere. They only took me, well, I mean, I placed them all first time round, and then there was only 1 or 2 tweaks I had to go back in and make, so I'm very happy with how they look and how spaced out they are. I think it works quite well. And then the other thing that surprised me is when it comes to the like timing, the race data, I followed a tutorial by Jesse. Very, very in-depth tutorial. Like, it was really good, really helpful. The one thing that shocked me is when I saved it all and like loaded the track up for the first time to experiment and test it, like just in testing to make sure that the lap times worked and the splits are where I placed them. It worked first time, but I didn't have to make any adjustments to it, so I was very, very surprised by that. I was fully waiting for that to be like one of the most difficult parts, or something to go wrong. But I do just want to take this time to just say a huge thank you to everybody that takes the time to put their help and advice and resources out there for other track creators to start building things. Because if I had to do this like old school method back in the day, like people like TFC and Rubes, for example, had to do, I would not have released the track. You know, it's all done in like notepads, and I don't want to say it's like coding, but it just looks very, very difficult to do. So the biggest thank you of all for this whole thing is Mr. Resolute Kraken, because if he didn't build that track builder helper that does everything for you, we wouldn't be making this video. I wouldn't have a track. It would have been like cancelled after the first probably 20 minutes. So big W to him. Like, he is like incredibly important to this whole process. And yeah, thank you to everyone in the Earthworks Discord as well for helping and such. I've realised there's not collisions are on, by the way. It's just because that guy's laggy that I rode through him. We're doing all right. We've got a 13-second lead right now. We got into lappers like I expected we would. We're on lap 4 out of 5. I've ran a 1:41, which I'm fairly happy with. It's weird how the road's actually taking shape. There's some corners like here where you can't really see much at all, and then some of the other corners where, like that one, where it's quite prevalent. But I think that is purely based on the fact that the erode forms based on how much force is being put into the ground. So the corner that I just went round, where there wasn't much erode, it's quite a slow corner. You know, you get on the brakes quite a lot, don't really push it in the corner too much. And then corners like the one just after the finish line, it's a really high speed one. You know, the ruts are a little bit bigger, they hold you better. So that, to me, would kind of show why the erode's getting how it is. It's weird, actually, that this is the one corner with grass in. I think what I might have done is maybe with the grass masking, which is that a mask is essentially in Photoshop, anywhere that you've painted the colour white, I think, that decal will show there. So anywhere white on my Photoshop document has grass, anything black doesn't. But I think what I might have done is accidentally painted... I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Zach, man. I think I painted a few places in grass I shouldn't have. So again, just things to learn. Very happy for a first track overall. Like this little split here where you go inside double-double or go outside quad. I think the inside seems super OP at first when you're going into the corner, but then by the time you get halfway along the next straight, because you've not got as much momentum to slingshot through, again, it works out really, really well. And I feel like I sound like a broken record. I'm just smiling the entire time. It's so weird. I'm happy. Thank you, Mr. Paramoto, by the way. So the sand section, basically about 30 minutes before the track was, before I was finalising the track and combining it all together to like get the post ready, the sand looked a lot different. It was a lot brighter than it was. There wasn't anywhere near as much detail in it as there is now. So Paramoto said I should just experiment with the texture a little bit and try and add a norm to it. Little did I know that Photoshop has a norm mapping system all by itself, so I just pressed a button and made the sand look a lot better. So yeah, again, them little tweaks, them little things. Oh my god, that one bump gave me a lot of kick there. Jesus Christ. Yeah, there's quite a few things that I never would have spotted or thought to change at all. You may notice that I've turned my 3D grass off in this race. That is just to give me a little bit extra FPS. So I will look at ways of hopefully like optimizing a little bit better as well. Hopefully you guys, freeride guys, enjoy the little freestyle ramps over there. I definitely could have spent a bit more time to make the area bigger, but for the sake of getting the track out ahead of time before I left for like my 5-6 days away from home, I just wanted to be done with it. I really did. I was so like over going in and out of Photoshop and Blender and the track builder and just like repacking the track together, testing it over and over again. So it takes a long time to put the track together. Like just to build the track and get it in your game, it takes me about 10 to 12 minutes I was timing on average. So if you have to make little micro adjustments, it can be a real big pain in the bum. But that'll do it from me. There is the first ever race on my track. I'm a very, very happy man. Like nothing but kind words from everybody. Thank you so, so much. And hopefully this has inspired some of you guys to get into the track building side of things as well. And hopefully we see a bunch of new track creators in the near future. Honestly, if I can do it, I think anyone can do it. I'm not particularly computer literate by any means, and if you're ever stuck, just ask questions, you know, in various discords. There's always people out there willing to help you. I'm going to love you and leave you. If you did enjoy this, please do drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're new. I'd greatly appreciate it. Have a lovely rest of the day, whatever you're up to. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.